All right, guys, it is November 9th. My birthday is tomorrow. So, I've been buying these chainsaws from Lowe's, and I picked up another one yesterday. And it was, this is the Husqvarna 440. It was $359, $26 in tax, so it's $385, so less than $400. You got a pretty decent saw. The reason I got this one is because it's a little bit lighter and a little more maneuverable, and Joey likes the lighter saws, but it still has the 18-inch bar, so you can still do like 90% of whatever you need to do just by using this smaller saw. And let's see the specs on it. It's 40.9 cc's, 2.4 horsepower, and it's only 9.7 pounds. And then after you fill it up with all the juices and everything, it only weighs 12 pounds. So basically 10 pounds, you know, right around 10 pounds. I mean, that's super light for a saw. And these Huskies rev up pretty high, and we do most of our cutting. We just cut just a little bit off just to get through the gate. So the only real saws that we do a lot of cutting with are blocking down or firewood. So we really use these mainly for just limbing and just getting it basically small enough to get through a gate. So these won't be doing really the blocking down. I usually use a little bit bigger saw because I switch from my little top handle. It has a 16-inch bar, and then I usually go to something with 20-inch or bigger to block it down, and usually over 50 cc's. So, but this is a really good little saw. I've had a couple of them in the past, and I never had a problem with the Husqvarnas. They seem to start a little bit easier, and they stay running. A lot of these other like steels have had a problem lately. Once they start great, they run great, but then they won't restart. I don't know if that's a carburetor issue or what, but anyway, it comes with your little mix Husqvarna 2-stroke, so that makes a gallon, and then of course it comes with your gas and oil caps, and then of course it comes with your owner's manual, all your warranty stuff, so all that good stuff. So that's that. Also, it has safety and gives you a couple tips and pointers. So I'm going to put that back in there. Of course, it comes with your little scrunch. So there you go. This is a really good all-around saw. Great for homeowners. It's not super expensive, and it's a really good little limbing saw. So if you have some ground guys that you know, they're complaining about the saws are too heavy, you know, it's just easier to work if you're doing a lot of limbing. It's easier to toss around, throw around. If you're just doing a small removal and you just need something a little bigger than your top handle, you can probably block down with this for a little bit smaller trees. If you guys don't do, like we do a lot of the smaller stuff now. We don't really do a lot of big trees. I sub the big stuff out. We still do them every once in a while, but I prefer to just sub it out. Another thing you got to watch out for, the last saw I bought, since they're putting these screws and these handles on the tip of the bar, sometimes the tips get bent. And I bought a brand new, really great professional saw, ran great, cut great, and then I went to cut into a big piece of wood, and it started vibrating and bouncing around, and we found out later on the chain kept popping off. We laid it on the table, and it was actually bent, and it doesn't take much. And since this, so if you buy one of these saws, any saw that has a mounting bracket on the tip of the saw, make sure That's one of the first things you should check to see if that bar's bent, because sometimes they'll drop them or they'll pick them up or really weird. So you want to lay that saw blade down on something flat like a table and make sure it's perfectly flat. If it has a little bend in the top, that bar's shot, and it's really hard to bend these bars back because you don't know how much pressure it took to bend it in the first place. So that is one thing I definitely would recommend. And the bad part is, if you take the saw back, they won't let you get a new bar. They'll make you get a whole new saw, which is a shame, because basically it's really hard on a company if you send something back that really is nothing wrong with it. But if you can, if it's a local dealer, just ask them for a new bar, or maybe a new bar and chain. That's it. Try not to send the whole thing back. But with Lowe's, you have to send the whole thing back. If there's a small defect, the whole thing goes back. So I don't know if they eat that whole cost. They used to, when on returns, they would have them in the used section, the clearance section, and sometimes you could get a deal on them. So just keep an eye out for that. If you see one of these in the clearance section, a lot of times it's just because of the bar and chain. You put a brand new bar and chain on them, and you got a brand new saw. So, all right, we're going to test this out. Let me give this to Joey for, I guess this will be his early Christmas present. I really like these saws too because they're so light and nimble. I mean, you can almost hold this saw out with one hand and cut with it. You can't do that with many saws. So how many saws can you do that with? All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll try to leave a link in the description. I don't know if they have these online or not, but I will try to find them. And I don't know if you can get them cheaper or not through online. You might be able to save a little bit. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. And like I said, Husky 440, that is a really good saw for the money. A lot of value. It's considered a heavy-duty chainsaw, so you should be able to use it all day long. You shouldn't be able to burn it out. I bought many saws from Lowe's. I used a lot of Huskies in the beginning, and I'm kind of going back to them because steels have gotten just a little bit too complicated. They just try to put too much technology in it, and the gas caps are, they're great saws, but I don't know. Lately, I just haven't been able to keep mine running. Once I get them started, they stall, and then spend 10 minutes trying to start them again. So, all right, guys, I will see you on the next one.